Hi, it's Cayman Reynolds. We're back from vacation and the day is winding down. It feels awesome, like fall's fixing to be here, which it is, and the chickens are loving it as well. A friend of mine watched them for a week, but we're going to be showing you a lot of different things because a lot has changed. These birds grow very rapidly, and a lot of people think they're genetically modified, and they're not. It's just a cross of a cross of a cross to get the desired characteristics. But there's a lot of health problems that can happen if they're fed an inferior diet or if they're just kept pinned up all day. And that's why free-range raising of chickens or beef or anything is so important. It's the same way with humans. We need good diets, we need exercise, sunshine, all those kinds of things, and as much as possible a stress-free environment. And so today I was able to finally let the chickens get out. You can see this fencing all around us right here. We'll be showing you more about that in the future. Laurel's rigged up a watering system right before we left, and I'll show you what we did. It worked great all week, and again, my friend took care of him, but he didn't have to do a whole lot. He did have to do some stuff, but we had it pretty easy. And the bird, you can see some birds are eating in there. Now they've been in here for 7 days, and you can just see how much these birds have wore out the grass and the dirt and everything in here. It's just, yeah, it's nuked it. And this was with only 22 birds. We did lose when we had a raccoon problem. It no longer exists. But it reached underneath when we were moving the pen, and we left just a little bit of gap underneath there. Not enough for anything to get under fully, but I was able to just reach his paw down in there, pull a chicken leg out, and chew on that bird's chicken leg, and we had to put the bird down because there's just no way I was going to survive it. And you know, that's animal cruelty at its finest when another animal's eating another one alive. You know, it's really us humans that are the ones that typically are the humane ones when we decide to be. Anyways, had to put that chicken down, unfortunately, but when we left on our trip, we decided to go ahead and put blocks all the way around it just to give it a little bit of extra line of defense. Probably not necessary, especially since the raccoon is no longer visiting, but you just never know. We reinforced it a little bit more. The chickens have grown so much in a week. We'll be talking more about nutrition because the biggest problems people have with these birds is leg problems, and then respiratory would be next, and both of those can be eliminated, but you have to know what to do, and we will have a video just covering that. Try to keep it pretty short. Alright, so Laurel rigged up this watering system really quick, and it's worked wonderful. Right now there's water right to here. I got this kit from Stromberg's Chickens. That's where the chickens came from. That's where the netting came from. I was really excited to use this watering system. I've always wanted to use one, and now that we're kind of getting back into doing more chickens, it was time to do it. They do waste a little bit more water as opposed to having a water that's a drum on the ground or something like that. Maybe, but you know, they do get in there and they splash, and most of all they poop in it. And anyone who's raised chickens and had those ground waters, oh my goodness, it's just, the birds just seem to hold it right until they go to get a drink of water. The reality of it is they have high metabolisms and they poop a lot. But it gets all in that water, and it affects their health when there's that high level of nitrogen in their water. So this right here is just a hose running out, and you can make these. You can either purchase the nipples right here from Stromberg's or another chicken supply and retrofit one of these yourselves, and you can just make it, or we just went ahead and purchased it because it saves us a lot of time, and you can just keep extending this. You can pull off that cap on the end and just add another length and another length, and really, really nice. We're going to be redoing this pen in the future. We're going to be changing the watering system and the feed system to make it a lot more streamlined. Have it on the outside of the pen so we don't have to get in here every time. And I'm probably going to rig it up to a 15-gallon drum, so that'll be a whole lot nicer. 5 gallons works pretty well for these birds, but they're going through right now with 22 about 2.5 to 3 gallons of water a day depending on the heat levels. But that's great. We have the troughs right here. You can see all these buckets in the back of the pen. I had them loaded up with water and food for him. So he basically came over here, topped this off, and then just filled that completely full, and that does really well. Now that we're back, we're at a crucial stage. We'll be talking about this more on keeping the birds from having leg problems and stuff like that. But giving them a break from just eating all the time. A lot of times when you're using an inferior feed, or you're just feeding even a good feed constantly, they just grow so quickly, it can cause issues. And I really feel like a lot of it is being addressed just by getting them out and letting them forage. Now that we're back home, released them today, they've been wearing out the bugs in here. They've eaten so many grass blades and clover leaves. That's so important. It's not just nutrition, it's also probiotics. There's a lot of probiotics that are in plants. The problem is if it's not natural, like a lot of the food that we humans eat, apples that are sprayed heavily and a lot of that stuff, those sprays and stuff really can inhibit the production of probiotics, and then we don't get that, and then we end up having to take probiotics. We're not getting enough green and stuff. But getting that into our chickens is important, and they absolutely love it. They're getting out and wearing out the chiggers and ticks, hopefully, as well, and lowering those down. Anyways, glad to be back home. We had a fun time experiencing the beach a little bit, and also Hurricane Sally. So just when you think that life's not going to be any more exciting, it is. This has been a special year. I hope you all are doing well. I'm looking forward to doing more videos on these chickens. We'll do a video on moving the pen, wiring up this fence because it has electrical hookup, and we didn't have that when that raccoon visited us. We hadn't got this product in yet. I have an old one, but I wanted this one. It was more designed for chickens, and we're gonna get a nice electrical box hooked up to it so we don't have to worry about the neighbor's dogs getting into our chickens, which is usually the #1 issue that we face just anywhere we've lived. It's just folks that have dogs, but they basically, the whole county seems to have them. Anyways, see you in the next video, and we'll be watching out for some more bee videos. We got some cool ones coming up.